Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Audio Autopsy, where I select 3 items from my stock, which are all untested, and then we can have a look at them together to see if they work. So let me show you what I selected this time. Okay, so first item on the workbench is a tuner. Before we start, quick service announcement. I've bought a new webcam. This is much better than this crappy old webcam that was maybe 15 years old that I was using in the previous videos. I think I like this format and I like the fact that I can put the webcam in the corner on the screen. So yeah, that's why I just picked up a decent one. And also a reminder on what the goal is of these types of videos is that like I said in the intro, I test 3 devices from my stock. They are all untested, so I haven't tried them before. We'll have a look at them together and see if they work. Now, first up is this tuner, and it's quite a big one. It's a GoldStar GST-1010. See, here we have the brand and the type. It's GoldStar Stereo Tuner. I guess that's what GST stands for. Now, if you don't know GoldStar, it's basically the predecessor of LG. LG was formed when 2 companies, Lucky and GoldStar, merged, and that's where the LG name comes from. So LG doesn't stand for Life's Good, what they try to make you believe. No, it stands for Lucky GoldStar. So this is one of the predecessor companies of LG. Now, they try to compete in the more budget-friendly market, so like sub-mid-range. So their equipment, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was a bit cheaper than other brands, but that doesn't mean it's bad. They try to really offer a good value for money. And you can really see that here with the design of this thing. I must admit, I cleaned it up quite a bit because it had a very nice nicotine glaze when I picked it up. And it is looking quite nice, and it's very thick metal, the front plate, the entire thing is metal. The knobs are feeling very nice and clunky. It is quite big though. Yeah, this comes from a period when you really wanted to show off with your tuner, I guess. A bit later in time, they started shrinking tuners as much as possible. So that's maybe some reason why you wouldn't want to use this thing today, because it's so big. It's also very deep. Now, as you see here on Wikipedia, GoldStar was a South Korean electronics company established in 1958, and the corporate name was changed to LG Electronics in 1995 after merging with Lucky Chemical. So they manufactured a wide variety of things, also test equipment such as multimeters and oscilloscopes, and apparently also tractors. Interesting. Now, I do have here the service manual, and it stated here, printed in Korea, June 1981. So I think that more or less dates this equipment. It's nice that we have a service manual. It is quite extensive with alignment and everything. PCBs, wiring diagrams, schematics, everything you need. So if there is something wrong with this, we should be able to fix it. Now, that being said, I don't think there's going to be much wrong. My experience with these analog tuners from this generation is that they basically just work. Well, usually they work. I haven't encountered lots of issues with these things. When you have a receiver, then most of the time you have trouble in the amplifier section, but the tuner section is often still fine. Maybe it's a bit misaligned. The only thing that I see going wrong here is that maybe we won't be able to pick up FM stereo. So we might need to fine-tune the multiplex circuit. So that is a bit of a hit and miss. I suspect that might not be working, but I guess we will be able to pick something up with this. Well, at least that's my guess, basically. If I would have to gamble on this, I would gamble that it would work. So let's just go quickly over the controls. Yeah, there is a bit of glare here, but okay, I think it'll work. So here we have power switch. This is an output level control, that's nice. Then we have here a muting switch. I guess that means FM stereo muting. Then there is a meter select, so you can switch the meter between signal strength or multipod. And then this is the tuning. That still seems to work. so that's already fine. It does make a bit of a weird metallic sound. I don't know if you can hear this on the video. See, it's squeaking, but it works fluently. And this is the function selector, so we have AM, FM stereo or FM mono. And here on the back we have our loop stick antenna for AM. Now this one is also still intact, which is great because these are quite vulnerable and sometimes they do break off. But as you see, it's still perfectly fine. That's nice. Here we have the antenna connections. And then here we have two outputs, one fixed and one variable, because you saw that we had an output control, so I guess that output control will only influence the variable output, not the fixed. Okay, so let's just plug it in and see if it works. I am going to use the fixed output control for now. And then I'm gonna plug this into the dim bulb limiter. Just as always in these videos, I'm gonna run things through the dim bulb limiter. I am going to power them just as they are, but I'm not gonna be completely reckless, and I do gonna use the dim bulb limiter. So I have one 40 watt bulb in series. The tuner is off. Let's turn on the dim bulb limiter, right? And let's turn this to build. What will we put it on? Let's put it on AM, because I don't have an FM antenna connected. So I don't know, also don't think we will receive anything on AM, because as you know from my videos, AM reception here in Belgium is horribly poor, and especially inside with all the noise from the bench and a loop stick antenna, not an external antenna, don't expect too much. Okay, that sounds like reception. Nice. Do I have... I do think that I don't see any dial lamps. But the lamp for AM is working. And it's drawing 7 milliamps, 11 watts, 225 volts. That's perfect. So, oh yeah, it's working. See, it's incredible. This is just with the loop stick. Okay, that is really nice. I mean, normally you can't really receive AM here indoors. Signal strength meter is working as well. Well, but there is a lot of distortion and interference from the workbench. So, but hey, AM is working. Nice. There is something wrong here with the tuning, I think. Sometimes it doesn't want to move. See, if you turn it too fast or... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It feels weird. Okay. Let's go to FM. Okay, I now have FM stereo selected. Let's just try stereo, you never know. See now, okay. Oh, is it tuning in stereo? Oh my god. I don't have an antenna connected. I don't have an antenna connected, and it's picking up stereo. Wait, let me just find a wire here or something for an antenna. Okay, I'll just use a clip lead here. Because if it is now already receiving, then I guess it will also work with simply a clip lead. It's tuning in stereo, see? That does add a lot of noise to the signal, because I have here just a clip lead as an antenna. Yeah, undoubtedly with a decent antenna this will just work perfectly. The muting also works, see? I think the tuner is working exactly as it should. If you turn it slowly, then you can do some fine tuning. I think it's working as intended.
présidente du jury, pour le salon, est une véritable fan du film Le Temps lourd.
You back. M&M. Make life magic Saturday.
M&M.
It's too late to say you're sorry.
Maar de weg naar dit oeverloze geluk bleek een hobbelig parcours te zijn. Het begon al met de mooie Arsena, de dochter van de zwijnenboer. Die voelde zich blijkbaar te goed voor Sandor en maakte hem duidelijk dat ze alleen maar met een baron wilde trouwen. In werkelijkheid was ze hopeloos verliefd op een ander, een Ottokar. Maar de oude zigeunerin vond daar bovendien troost in
That's remarkable.
donkerharige schone.
What I do not know is, do I have some lighting here? Because I guess there will also be some backlighting, but I can't see it with all the lights here. Let me turn off some lights. Oh yeah, yes, see? Oh right. It's working. Everything is working perfectly. Oh wait, do we have... the dial light on the tuning indicator is off, I think. See, so this VU meter, this signal strength meter, that has illumination, but the tuning meter does not. Now, I'm going to have a quick look inside to see if there is nothing wrong with the dial cord, because it is making weird noises, and to see what kind of light bulb this is on the tuning meter. I don't think I will be able to fix it, because I won't have that in stock. But just to be curious. Okay, I think I got all the screws out. It's always with these tuners that you are a bit surprised at how much empty space there is inside. But as you see, it's a fully mechanical tuner and fully analog. And yeah, the squeaking is just the spring here. I don't see anything wrong with it. Would you believe that? These are just normal dial bulbs. Yeah, see, that one is out. So maybe we can replace that one. Oh, now it's working. It was just a... See, it's a bad contact here somewhere. Yeah, it's a bad contact in that socket. Should be able to take it out like this. Oh yeah, it's like a pinball machine. It works in exactly the same way as some pinball machines. So you have these sockets and then a wedge bulb that plugs in the socket, and then this makes contact with these two clips here on the bottom side of this PCB. So if you have a bit of oxidation on the PCB, then this won't make good contact anymore. So that should be a straightforward fix. And this is the type of fixes that we like in these types of videos. Yeah, I'm just working the bulb here or the socket here a bit. I think that's fine now. Yeah, and both meters are lit. Okay. See, catching the stereo perfectly. Perfectly. And then if I put the meter on multipath, that also works. See? Well, I really like this. This aesthetic, that is really all up my alley. I mean, I am a very big fan of this big silver-colored faceplates with big lit-up screens or dials and everything, big knobs. This is really, even though it's a quote-unquote budget, because, well, budget in the end of the 70s was still quite expensive and quite decent. I think this is a nice tuner. The only possible issue I see here is we have some crustiness going on there in the power supply. Again, like usual, this glue that is probably going to start getting bad and causing issues. But so that's something that maybe needs a bit of attention in the future. But that's the only thing I see. So I'm just gonna close this back up and then we can have a look at the second item. Okay, so next up is a turntable. This is a Philips turntable, and honestly, again, I really like this turntable, well, at least in its design. It has a smoked cover, which is a bit scratched, but that's not too bad. It has a bit of a crack here, but also nothing serious. All these things can be repaired and it can be polished, so that's still okay. The turntable itself is a Philips automatic 673, and this was actually a donation. I got this for free because I bought something else from some guy, and when I went to pick it up, he said, hey, I have here another turntable that is not working anymore, it's totally dead. So I was just planning to throw it away into recycling. So maybe you're interested in it. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I took it home because I really liked the way it looked. It's also cosmetically in very nice condition. It's a bit dirty, so it needs a clean, but there is absolutely nothing broken except a crack in the cover, in the dust cover. It has the original cartridge and needle. So according to him, this was totally dead. Okay, let's see if it indeed is totally dead still. At least it turns freely. Now, in a turntable, being totally dead, that can mean many things, or it can be a very simple fix, like maybe a dirty or a broken switch or something, but it can also be something catastrophic, like the motor gone bad. So I don't know, no clue. Let's just plug this in. It did come with a DIN cable, so we'll have to figure something out for that. See, it's a DIN cable. And then the power plug is weird. I don't think this would have been an original power cable. And this plug, weird. I also don't think that's original. Anyway, let's see if he was right and if it is indeed totally dead. Plugging it in now, same thing, dim bulb limiter, one bulb of 40 watts. Turning it on. So let's unhook the tone arm. Start. Indeed, that doesn't stop. Start. Pitch. Yeah. I think he was right in saying that it's completely dead. Absolutely nothing. Okay, let's take off the... Oh, that was loose. Ah, there is a belt broken. That's already one thing. But I don't think that's the problem, because the motor is not... Oh, but the motor is completely seized. See, we have here one broken belt. Just gonna take that out. I think this is the other side of the belt. I guess it had to go around this. I think this is the motor that turns this pulley, and that turns the actual platter. Right. But here the motor is completely stuck. See it? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Let's take this belt off as well. Okay. Whoa, there's also coming out here. What the hell is going on? I'm just taking this apart without knowing what I'm doing. I have the motor in my hands now. What the? Okay. Right. Since it says here DC belt drive, so I guess this is a DC motor. Let's see if we have some voltage at the motor. Where is my multimeter? There is 3.4 volts on the motor. I don't know how many volts this motor should have. If I put it on start, doesn't change. Turning the speed control now, that also doesn't have an impact. Let's put this back and let's see if we can open this thing up from the bottom side. Okay, before I continue, just a bit of context. This is a Philips AF673 from 1978 to 1980. Original price 300 Deutsche Mark. And here we have the specifications and some very nice catalog pictures. Let's see if I can find a service manual. So I found a service manual. There are two service manuals. One for, well, if you just look for this model of turntable, you only get this picture, which is just, well, the enclosure and how it is put together, and some information regarding the transformer. And then they refer for the actual turntable itself, they refer to this service manual, which is much more extensive and goes into lots of details on how it operates. But that still doesn't help me how to get this thing apart, because I only have this and I don't immediately understand where are the screws. What I do notice here is a power cord with a plug, and this one doesn't have that. So somebody definitely has fiddled with this in the past because they put in a new power cord. So I do need to find a way to open this enclosure up. Okay, so I think I found it. There are 3 screws. Okay. That's one. The entire body of this turntable is just plastic, so it's not really high-end, but I think if this works, then it will look quite nice. Okay, yeah. Lifts out at the back first. Right. What is going on here? What the hell? Oh, somebody has been messing here with this thing. See, first of all, we have the power cord, which... See, so they just soldered in a new power cord, or yeah, I hope they soldered in a new power cord. But look at this. What is this? There is just a potentiometer just floating around here. What the hell? It's the speed potentiometer that somebody, I think, desoldered here from the PCB, and it's just floating around here on a wire. What the hell is it? Right, so this is the service manual, and what they are doing here is quite clear. So you see here we have the 12 volts coming in. So I guess the transformer is just a step-down transformer from through 20 to 12 volts. Then we have a bridge rectifier, a smoothing capacitor, 470 microfarad, and then this goes straight to the motor. So the motor just runs on 12 volts DC. We didn't see 12 volts DC, we saw 3.5 or something like this. So first thing we need to check, I guess, is the switch here and the bridge rectifier, because there is nothing else that can go wrong here. I mean, there's nothing in between there. So I am going to turn this thing on again. And honestly, I hadn't checked what it is drawing. Yeah, it's okay. It's 220 volts drawing 3 milliamps. So that's fine. This should be the motor. 3.2 volts. See, so even before the switch, if I measure between the positive side on the switch, well, my leads are swapped around, so I put my multimeter on the incoming side of the switch, and then on the negative side of the motor, and even there we only have 3.3 volts. So something is definitely off. Do we have 12 volts AC coming from the transformer? That should be here. 8. Do we have a shorted rectifier, perhaps? Because if the switch is open, then there can't be really anything that is loading the circuit down except the rectifier. So the problem is, the service manual the print is so bad that I can't really read where the rectifier diodes are located here on the PCB. Okay, so I found a much better version or a much better scan on Radio Museum, and the rectifier diodes are 7007, 7004, 7005 and 7006, so 4, 5, 6 and 7, and they are located over here. So 4, 5, still not a great scan, 6 and 7, they are all over the place. So yeah, the power is off. Let's put the multimeter in diode test and let's see what we get. Now I'm going to turn this around because then it's facing the same way as the drawing. 704.5, that's okay. 705.5, that's okay. 06.5, that's okay. 07.5. Yeah, we do have 320 volts going in. But we only have 8 going out. Okay, so apparently these are connectors. So I just disconnected the transformer. So let's see what comes out when it's floating. 12 volts. Ha! So the transformer is fine. There's something on the circuit is loading it down. So I just found out that this is the on-off switch and that one is closed. So that means as soon as I turn on the power, the switch is closed. So it could be anything in the circuit basically that is loading this thing down. Could also simply be the motor itself. So I'm going to desolder the motor and let's hook it up to my bench power supply and see if it is working. I'm gonna set it to 100 milliamp, 7 volts. Let's see. Drawing 100 milliamp, dropping to 1 volt. Okay. Yeah, the motor is really... There's something wrong with the motor, definitely. If I set it to 7 volts, I don't know how much this motor should draw, but definitely not like an amp or so. See, now it's drawing half an amp for that 7 volts. No, that's not possible. So the motor is kaput. I don't know. It does say 12 volts. Maybe I can try 12, but not with half an amp. Let's start again with 100 milliamp. And here we have it. And it is incredibly stiff. Honestly, I think the motor isn't bad. It's probably just completely seized. And I don't know if I can open this up. Oh, that wasn't okay. Nothing wrong. Oh, look at this, look at this. I've been working the motor here now for maybe 15 minutes or so, and I just wanted to give up, and then I noticed it started spinning a bit more freely, and when I turn it on now on the power supply, it's spinning. It's not spinning super happily. It's making a bit of noise and it's... but yeah, I think I'm gonna just let this sit here and spin a while. I think it was just completely frozen up. Oh, yeah, now it's going a lot better. I just poured quite a lot of isopropyl alcohol in there on the shaft, on both sides, basically. But I have the impression that here on the top side is the issue. That's really helping. So it's drawing 500 milliamps and it's dropping. It was, and it's spinning up now and it's rattling. Now it's drawing only 70 milliamps. See, in the beginning it needed 900 milliamps to start up the first time. Now it's only drawing 50. And it's rattling because I'm shaking it, but yeah, I'm just gonna let this run. Like maybe I'm gonna turn down the voltage slightly, 6 volts, and I'm just gonna let this sit like this and let this run for 10 minutes or so, just to get it nicely. But that was the problem, I guess. Just a stuck motor. Probably the old grease inside that had dried up and completely caked the inside. So I'll just leave this like this and I'm gonna have a drink. Okay, so I put the motor back in. I didn't lubricate it yet. I will do that at some later point. And I also now understand why this potentiometer is dangling here. And I think somebody just put these wires in so that you could stick it here through this opening where originally the plug for the power cable would be. So then you could adjust the speed from outside the record player. Idiots. Really. Why? So I'm just gonna leave this dangling also outside. Then I know that I still need to fix that. And I'm gonna put everything back together because, well, we can see if the motor now spins. But that will unfortunately be it because I don't have the correct belts in stock. The big belt is, I checked, folded length about more than 20 centimeters, so I think 21 or 22 centimeters, and I don't have belts that big. The longest I have is, I think, folded length 15 centimeters. So I would need to order new belts for this. So unfortunately, we won't be able to hear it play any music. But at least we hope that now the motor should spin when I turn this thing on. I think I made a bit of a scratch here. Nothing major. Okay, let's turn on the power supply. Oh yeah, the motor is spinning. And it's rattling quite heavily. But that, yeah, I think if you put a belt on it, then that might be gone. No, I don't. How does it stop? Ah, yeah. It works. But the motor doesn't stop. Ah, there it does. Okay, I just had to go a bit further. Okay, so it seems that it's working. Start. Yeah, and of course I need to drive the table manually because I don't have a belt. Yeah, and yeah, now it rides in the groove. Okay, seems to be working fine. Pitch control also works. Nice. Well, as I said, that's as far as I will go in this video because I don't have the correct belts. So then lubricating the motor I will do at some other point, probably when I put some new belts on here. Let me know what you think. Does this turntable deserve new belts? I think it does. Just need to find the correct ones online somewhere. And then I think that's just a quick fix, just putting new belts, lubricating the motor, maybe adjusting the speed a bit, and we're basically done. So that means we have now 2 out of 2 that are working. Well, 1.5 perhaps. This still needs a bit of work, new belts, lubricating the motor, but that should be a quick fix, and then we get this easily working nicely. I think this is a nice turntable. And also a fan of these smoked dust covers. So it's the next day. I took a break yesterday evening because it was getting kind of late. So now it's time for item number 3. Before we start, I just noticed that I forgot to put the little clip back on the back side of the motor of the turntable, so that's probably why it was rattling. Anyway, time for item number 3. Now this wouldn't be an audio autopsy video without something truly vintage. So I present you a shoebox tape recorder from the brand Superscope by Marantz. Now, Superscope was the brand or the company that owned Marantz from mid-60s to 1980, and then it was bought by Philips. So they used the brand Superscope on some of their more budget-oriented equipment, and mainly also on their tape recorders. So here we have a portable tape recorder by Superscope. Yeah, and it really looks incredible. I really like the look. I feel it's very big and heavy, and I think this looks really nice. It was extremely dirty. It also had a nicotine glaze, and there was a lot of dust, mainly here in the speaker grill. There still is some that I didn't clean out fully, but it cleaned up well. There are a bit of scratches here on the cover of the tape mechanism. For the rest, it seems intact. Now, I haven't found the exact age or production year of this tape recorder. I guess it would be like mid-70s. So we got here a Superscope C-180. Yeah, see, same thing, model number C-180. Serial number very difficult to read. 0XN230377, made in Taiwan. Let's have a look at its features, because I do think it's nicely packed, because often these devices, they were quite bare bones, but this one has quite a lot of functionality. Also look, 3-way power, total shut off. I don't really know what they mean by this. This is probably automatic stop. The 3-way power, I don't know. I think they simply mean that you can do play, fast forward and rewind. Because even that was not a given on some of these recorders. Some you couldn't rewind, you could only fast forward, or you had to hold down the buttons while fast forwarding or rewinding. I think that's what they mean with 3-way power. It's not that there's going to be 3 motors inside. It probably means that you can, well, that there is a clutch inside and that you can have 3 different speeds. Basically. So we have here the main controls: record, rewind, play, fast forward, stop, eject and pause. Stop and eject is the same button. I don't know how that'll work. Won't that be quite annoying if you want to stop the tape, that it also automatically flips it up? Then this is quite neat. So you have one touch record. So normally if you, well, I need to hold down the switch here. If you press record, then you see that the capstan, or the pinch rollers, are also immediately pushed against the capstan, so you don't have to do record play at the same time. So you only have to press down the record button and it automatically starts, well, forwarding the tape as well. Now what is also neat is that you have play, of course, fast forward, which latches, which is not the case on all tape recorders from this era, and rewind, okay? Now if the recorder is in play, and if you then push fast forward, it doesn't latch. It's sort of like a cue. See, it retracts the tape head slightly, so that you can still hear the music in a very high pitched probably, while fast forwarding, and the same thing for rewind. But obviously when you're not playing, then they simply latch. That's quite a neat mechanism. Then here we have a tape counter battery check indicator, and also which also doubles as a record indicator. The volume control and the tone control. This is also not super common on the shoebox tape recorders. Microphone, a nice metal handle. Here on this side, a whole bunch of connections. Connection for an external speaker, which is also not common. A DIN jack with record and play, so that means probably just line in and line out. then an auxiliary input, microphone input, and a connection for a remote control. So it is quite feature packed. Here on this side we have a connection for 6-volt power supply, 220 volts, and then you also have here the battery compartment. So you have plenty of options, and yeah, these are quite rusted. So if you want to use batteries in this thing, then these will need to be cleaned probably. Now let's see if this works. Place your bets. I don't know. I think the easiest thing to do is to simply put it on 220 volts, because otherwise I would have to find a connector, and it's not labeled if it is center positive or center negative, that plug. So let's just try it on 220 volts and via the dim bulb limiter, obviously. Okay, time to place your bets. Now, I don't know, this is a mixed bag. These recorders is really hit and miss. Some of the belts, they are completely gone. Some are still in perfect condition, so no idea. I'm gonna turn on the dim bulb limiter. It shouldn't be drawing any current at the moment, because as long as you don't press any of these buttons, typically these recorders are completely shut off. So let's hit play. I hear the motor, and the auto shut off is actually working. But yeah, the capstan is not spinning. So, well, at least the motor is working. Fast forward, yeah, that works. Oh, you can't see this on the camera, but see that this spindle is going. Rewind, also working. Nice and smooth. And it auto shuts off. That's nice. Yeah, the capstan is not spinning. Does this need... And this one, yeah, that's probably... This one is trying. I think we have maybe a loose belt. Do we hear something in the speaker? Yes. So that's nice. The amplifier seems to be working. Okay. Are we gonna make this 3 out of 3 by just simply swapping a belt? Let's have a look inside. These screws are so deep, I can't even see what they are. Okay, there they are. It's just a Phillips screw, okay. There's probably a 4th one in here, yeah. The way they click when you unscrew them, that makes me believe that nobody has ever been inside here, which is good news. I think I have to turn it over again now. Do these knobs need to come off? Probably, yes. Okay. Ah, there is a belt at the bottom of the mechanism. I don't think you can see this, but... Ah, yeah, there you can perhaps see there. There is a belt over there. And is that one loose? That is quite slack. Yeah, now it's spinning. What happened? Now it's spinning. Wait, oh, it's on pause. Now it's working. What happened? Why why did this automatically now started working? Ah, no, it doesn't. I think the belt is slipping. See, it's going very slowly, but I guess the motor is. It's difficult to see over there. I don't know. I guess the belt is slipping. Now that's a bit annoying, because I don't really see how I can get to that belt. I think I'll just start by unscrewing stuff, right? I don't know. Definitely this has to come off. And this one probably too. And this one probably as well. And there is another one over here. There is a ground connection connected to this screw. So I need to remind or think about putting that back. Okay. This all seems to be loose. I think it just comes out as one big piece. I think what's holding it in here is the headphone jack, which I forgot to mention. It has also a headphone jack. I don't know what I'm doing. As usual. There is still something holding this in place, but I don't... Oh, there are two belts. This is not going to just work like this. I really need to be able to completely open this up or flip this over, because there is some disassembly required on the bottom side, and I don't know where this is still stuck. Okay, so there is a PCB underneath. This PCB is also screwed in place, so I think I need to remove that PCB as well. What is really not fun with these kind of tape recorders is that usually they have wires all over the place, so it makes it difficult to just open up and change the belts. But here I am. Am I able to reach this right now? Wait, I will... Okay. Precarious. Oh yeah, that belt is... completely loose, so that's our problem. Now, the thing is, I don't think you can see this, but there is another belt. That belt is probably for the fast forward and rewind. I'm also going to swap that one. See, I think that one is still okay, because we saw that the fast forward and rewind was working, but this one here, this one is just way too loose. For that I need to... need to loosen this bracket, and I cannot really put a lot of force on this, which is annoying. Oh, come on. Oh, that was tight. Yeah, it also needs to become undone over here. I hope I'm not breaking anything, because this is all plastic. No, okay, that one is not as tight. And then let me see if I can find two new belts. So the small one is, if I stretch it a bit, almost 9 centimeters. So I think I will have to put something like 8 centimeter. 8.5 will not be enough, because see, if I just hold it like this is already more than 8.5 centimeters. So I'm going to go for a belt of 8 centimeters for this one. And the one that is really slack, that one measures now almost 13. So I'll see what I have, maybe 12.5, 12 or 12.5. So 8 centimeters and 12. This is an 8 centimeter belt. I don't think I have 12. I do have 12.5. That might be too large. Yeah, that is probably gonna be, because that's exactly the same, well, almost the same as what the original belt was. So I think that's gonna be just slightly too large. Yeah, I think it might work, but a 12 centimeter would be better, but I don't have that. I have 11, 12.5. Damn it. I have here another set of belts that I haven't organized yet, so maybe there is something in here. Nope. Largest one I have also in there is 11. And let's try 11. Oh, that's going to work. Yeah, that's going to work. And the 8, maybe I should put a 75. Do I have a 75? Yeah, I have 75. The 8 centimeters is already a bit tighter than the original one, so I'm going to put 8 centimeters on that one. Oh, come on. That looks like it's okay. Let's put this bracket back. So if you're repairing one like these, 11 centimeters for the big belt, 8 centimeters for the small belt is what I used. Also, yeah, I do measure all my belts, as you saw, folded length. So watch out, because some sellers, they measure their belt just by circumference or by diameter, not by folded length. I chose to do it by folded length because it's really the easiest way to measure the size of a belt. Like you saw, you just use a ruler. Okay, that's back in place. Now let's see if I can fiddle this thing back together. Oh my god. I don't like this. Okay. That actually went back in position much more easily than it came out. Well, before I put all the screws back, let me just test this thing now. Play. That looked like it's working. Fast forward. Rewind. Oh, that belt is also... Look at that one. Maybe we should change that one as well. I think that's an easy swap. I can reach that from the top. A wobble, 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 wobble. Yeah. What is this in size? 7.5 when stretched, so 7 unstretched. Let's see if I can find something. Man, this second kit of belts that I got here is horrible. The original kit that I bought, the ones that I sorted by length, they are really nice. They are all exactly the same size. This is just a hodgepodge of different thicknesses and yeah, see, and very, very shoddy belts like this. So this is nasty. This is almost useless, this assortment of belts. So without traction, now this is 7. So I'm going to put a 6.5 on there. Now, will I be able to get this on? Come on. Okay, I think that's on. Yeah, much better. Before I put everything back together, let's just try this with the tape first to see if it is actually making some music, because we haven't tried that yet. I think it does, because the amp is working. I have here Super Disco Party. Boney M, Gilla, and Boney M, Gilla. It seems like a compilation of Boney M, Eruption, and Gilla. See? Yeah, it's a very specific disco party. How do I put this tape in? Just like this. Okay, let's turn on the power. Aha, I hear something. Yeah, I hear Boney M, so... Okay, so it's working. Let me put everything back together and then we can have a better listen to how this thing sounds. I'm also going to take the opportunity to clean this up a bit. Here there is a bit of dust here where the potentiometers are, and here in the mechanism there is also a bit of dust, but it's really nice. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. Pinch roller still feels really good, almost like new, I would say. It's rubbery, maybe slightly hard, but definitely not much. Gonna clean the heads, but the heads, I don't think they need cleaned. They look pristine. I don't think this thing has seen a lot of use. So let me just clean this thing up a bit and then put everything back together and we can have a decent test. Okay, everything is back together and I've got here maybe a better tape for testing. This is finger picking guitar for beginner to advanced students. So this is like a tape for learning how to play guitar, and I guess this is, well, safe for YouTube copyright matches. So that's why I think this is quite interesting to use something like this as a test tape. Ah, you really need to put it in like this, not in the door. Nice. Okay. Let's fast forward a bit.
This cassette tape has been designed to be used in conjunction with the book Progressive Fingerpicking Guitar. Each exercise number corresponds with the exercises in this book.
This thing actually plays
To
very
play
well.
along with the exercises on this tape, tune your guitar to the following open strings. Open 6th string, E note.
Okay. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. There's something still going wrong. See the tape counter. I think maybe the tape counter was simply stuck.
Exercise 3.
Oh, we're already at exercise 3. This thing actually works pretty well. I'm really surprised by this.
Exercise 2.
See, it doesn't open the door when you when you press stop while it's playing. It's only when you're not playing anything and you press this button that it ejects and it just shoots out the tape. Okay. Okay, so let's test the recording functionality. I put in here a blank tape and let's see if we can record something with a built-in microphone. This is a test of the Superscope C-180 recording on a blank tape. This is a test of the Superscope C-180 recording on a blank tape. There seemed to be a bit of noise that kicked in. Oh, this is not the recording, this is actually... Ah, that was a bit of buzzing in the amplifier. See, because... Recording on a blank tape. Yeah, the amplifier is motorboating slightly, I believe. I think it could benefit from some capacitors change in the amp. This is a test of the Superscope C-180 recording on a blank tape. But the recording functionality is quite good. The recording quality is quite good because I've heard some shoebox tape recorders that have a hell of a lot of motor noise in the background when you try to record something. And using the built-in microphone here, this is pretty decent. So yeah, I think this is a nice device. If you're into the market in a really vintage retro-looking shoebox tape recorder, I would definitely recommend this one. It's well built, has a lot of features. Sound quality is great for this type of device, both playback and recording. Yeah, not bad. I'm happy with this. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it because, well, we had a really nice result here. We basically have 3 working devices. Well, the turntable still needs a bit of work, so maybe 2.5. But the tuner and this cassette player, they are both working very well for their age. And yeah, normally I would ask which of these would you like to see featured in the next video, but well, 2 of them, they are working, so nothing to be done. The turntable, well, I am considering making a separate video on that because it does need a bit of work. And when I have ordered a new belt, I can also install a new cable, new power plug, put this weird speed control that was hanging out of the player back on its original spot. Maybe also change the DIN cable to a normal RCA cable. So there are quite some things that still can be improved on that thing. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that on a video. For the rest, I think we had a really nice result, and I hope you are enjoying these types of videos that I'm making as well in between the normal restoration videos. So if you are, then let me know. If you're not enjoying these videos, also post a comment and say what you think is bad about them. Any feedback is always welcome. Just stay civil in the comments. And yeah, that's it for me for this video. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.